Yo, what's going on, everybody? JC here today from Fittest Gamers, and today I present to you all WWE 13, the Attitude Era gameplay in 2023. Not sure what we're going to title it so far, but yes, this is an iconic game with iconic scenes and an exciting showcase mode, if that's what you want to call it. This was pretty much a showcase mode at the time. Such a unique game with great things in it, some great Easter eggs. This game had Mike Tyson. I think the one in 2K16 they couldn't get Mike Tyson for licensing reasons, but this game had Mike Tyson. He comes out super exciting. You're gonna see tons of great clips today from this iconic Attitude Era game mode, and then also I'm gonna show you all how it looked and the different chapters that it had. Tons of chapters, great gameplay, great for trophy hunting. This game was immaculate for its time. WWE 13 was a huge upgrade from WWE 12 in my honest opinion, and it was pretty cool to see the Attitude Era. One thing I would have wanted was that I would have wanted them to allow us to play the WCW perspective, because they do take into account the Monday Night Wars. This was such an iconic moment. We're going to move on to another one. They have the King of the Ring, because you play as Mankind. There's a Mankind chapter. There's a Brothers of Destruction chapter. There's the Austin 316 chapter. There's the Great One, aka The Rock chapter. There's the Rise of DX chapter. Whew, I'm running out of breath. But these are all exciting chapters, and they all had exciting matches. And just when you look at some of these cutscenes, you're like, wow, this looked similar to what it was in real life. So it was very cool to see, very surreal to see, super enjoyable to say the least. This game had an Inferno match. I'm not sure if WWE 12 had an Inferno match. If I am wrong, please correct me in the comment section below. And then also the ratings. The ratings in this game were pretty damn good. Metacritic gave it a 76 Metascore and an 8.1 user score. And then if we want to touch base on the overall rating, IGN gave it an 8.4 out of 10. So this game was indeed extremely enjoyable, and the cover at the time was must get, because this one CM Punk was on fire and everybody wanted this. Everybody wanted it on the Revolution. The trailer for this game was a thing of beauty. The music for the game was a thing of beauty as well. Everything pertaining to this game was awesome, simply awesome. And the things you could do, like this right here, I'm doing the signature dive over the Inferno. Like, what? Entrances were on point as well. For the graphics, it wasn't bad for a WWE game in the early 2010s. This game released in 2012. For a 2012 release, pretty good, not too shabby. I did get some old school vibes, you know, maybe not so much Here Comes the Pain or SmackDown versus Raw, because this is when WWE went on its own with WWE 12 and then WWE 13, but I did get some good, you know, vibes. We have The Godfather, which is cool to see. Tons of cool Attitude Era wrestlers, great bonus matches. Like here we have Triple H versus The Rock, SummerSlam of '98, I believe, for the IC title. Iconic match, both of their careers boosted shortly after. We have cool moments like this. The cutscenes are pretty cool. This is when Steve Austin, you know, knocked out the ref. I think it was Vince, and he went for the pin, and then he actually did the pinfall by grabbing Vince's hand himself. So great things, nothing but great things to say. And there were some cool features too when you were playing and doing some challenges. It would like do like some free roam stuff. Like here, like you have to like move him towards the hearse and throw him into the hearse. Like those are things that you can't do regularly in the matches, but they had some cool features when it came to this story mode, so to speak, the Attitude Era story mode. Throwing off the Hell in a Cell too, it just plays the way it was on TV. It just looks, it has that look and it has the feel to it. Definitely the Revolution indeed. I don't want to say it's one of the few last good WWE games, because I've liked them all up until maybe 2K19, 2K20. If I'm gonna say a number, maybe those are the ones where I was a bit disappointed. I really can't. I mean, 2K20 was a huge disappointment, but this was good for what it was. It was good for what it was. Some things they lacked on, and maybe attention to detail when it came to the arenas and how the stadiums were set up. But besides that, I mean, it was cool. I mean, the WrestleMania 28 stage was set to be what it really was like. Look at the Raw's War banners there in the background. They added some small things like that that made it enjoyable, made it feel like, okay, this is actually in the Attitude Era when you see that banner. So nothing but, you know, yeah, good things. If you haven't tried this game out, I suggest you, you know, I don't think it shouldn't cost too much. It should be quite affordable, I would say. WWE 13 for the PS3 or Xbox 360. I believe I have it. I have it for the PS3. I don't know how much it costs for the Xbox 360. It literally goes for $10. This was cheaper than Here Comes the Pain. I recently purchased WWE Here Comes the Pain, and that was like $33, $35 after taxes on eBay. So this is a lot cheaper. It's $8.99. You can get it for Mercari or eBay, and it's not bad. You're not paying too much for it. Pretty decent, if you ask me. Decent pricing for a decent game. Even $3 on Mercari, I believe. Like, there's one here for $3 listing. Just go ahead and search it up on those apps yourself if you want to see. But besides that, plays great, plays smooth. Enjoyable, even just playing it by yourself. If you want a trophy hunt, exciting game to trophy hunt. We'll look through the roster in a later video. If you all enjoyed this game greatly, then I'll pretty much do a roster breakdown. Talk about who's in it, the different arenas, I'll say stadiums, different arenas, different features, and we'll look at the trophies as well. This was a game that I trophy hunted indeed for. I believe I got a platinum. You can't quote me on it, but at the time when it released, I made it a mission to play it night in and night out, or day in and night out. I was just playing non-stop. I was hooked. I might have completed this Attitude Era game mode in under 24 hours, within the same 24 hours, that is. But yeah, nothing but great things to say of this, and a lot of great things to come. I'm going to show you all the different chapters. We're going to show you all some key matches in the chapters, some that really pointed out to me like, oh, that was pretty cool that they added that in this game. We're going to point out to that, but still in 2023 or 2022, you know, that I did play this in December of 2022 going into 2023. I played it in both years. It plays good. It plays like it can still match up with the games of today. It plays good, does not seem outdated, plays smooth, and it could compete with the 2K game, so to speak. It can. It's pretty cool. Cool things that they added. And maybe I would have wanted more arenas. Maybe the WCW feature would have made it 20 times better. If we could get the WCW perspective of the Monday Night War and we were able to play some of their key moments, it would have been awesome. They could have scratched it entirely from being just the Attitude Era, and they could have made it the Monday Night Wars. I'm still waiting for that. That would be amazing if we were to get that. This is the right time to do it. I don't know if it's too late now in 2023 to do it in a new 2K game. I believe this was the right time to do it, and they kind of dropped the ball. But hey, possibilities for the future are completely endless, and anything is possible. So let's go ahead and tune back in to the main menu and show you all how the chapters looked and whatnot. Alright everybody, so this is the portion of the video where I pretty much show you all the matches that you got to play as in this Attitude Era game mode, this legendary Attitude Era game mode. Tons of great chapters. You have the Rise of DX, Austin 316, Brothers of Destruction, The Great One, Mankind, WrestleMania 15, WrestleMania 15, and off script to have an entire, completed. The ratings timeline, a very cool feature. It shows you what happened when and how the ratings they went apart. Starting from 99, it just went down for WCW, which is really cool. I thought they were gonna add some WCW chapters because it would have been cool to have it all like a Monday Night War thing. Maybe we do get that in the future. You can't write it off. But it starts off, the Rise of DX, tons of great matches here. A notable one is Dude Love versus Triple H. It's not really Dude Love, it's actually Cactus Jack, and it's a no DQ match, so to speak. It was on April Fool's Day, actually. We have Triple H versus Undertaker. It goes all the way, I believe it goes until Michaels versus Bret Hart in Survivor Series, the Montreal Screwjob. And then just some little exciting matches. I guess some bonus matches as well. Billy Gunn versus mystery opponent. I forgot who that might have been. Kane versus Mankind in Survivor Series. Then we go on to Austin 316 chapter. He wins the Royal Rumble. I believe he wins the Royal Rumble. Stone Cold on his quest to become, I believe he wins the Royal Rumble. Or he attempts to win the Royal Rumble. And then we move on to the story and how everything comes about. And in WrestleMania 14, you have Austin versus Shawn Michaels. Of course, when Austin defeated Michaels thanks to Iron Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson comes out in the game, which you saw some clips of earlier. We have some bonus matches here. Another bonus match and two bonus matches. Taker versus Kane. Taker versus Kane again in Unforgiven. Austin versus Dude Love and Unforgiven. Crazy how Unforgiven back then was in April. Normally it's just towards the end of the year, the pay-per-view. Austin versus Dude Love and Over the Edge. And then I believe we move on to the Brother of Destruction storyline, which had tons of great matches, tons of classics. We're going to get to a super classic now. Undertaker versus Mankind and King of the Ring. That is Ultimate of the Ultimates. That's June 28th of 98. Ken Shamrock versus The Rock, a bonus match too. The Rock was just rising at this point, non-stop. propel Jet to the moon and to the stars. You have Austin versus Kane, King of the Ring as well. Steve Austin versus King on Monday Night Raw. Austin versus Undertaker. So Austin was very heavily involved in this Brothers of Destruction chapter. You have the New Age Outlaws versus Mankind. It was, both of them, yes, a handicap match in SummerSlam of 98. You have the bonus match, which is Triple H versus The Rock. The match Triple H won the IC title in a ladder match. Very fun match to be a part of, but to play. You have Austin versus Undertaker. Kane versus Undertaker versus Steve Austin in Breakdown. And then I do think we're moving on. It was a bonus match here. Mankind versus The Rock and Shamrock in a triple threat steel cage match, I believe. We have Undertaker versus Kane in Judgment Day. Ken Shamrock versus Mankind, and then The Rock versus Ken Shamrock. So this one here is the great one chapter. Tons of great matches here. A lot of matches against Ken Shamrock, maybe like two, not a lot, but like two. A bonus match here, Kane and Taker in Survivor Series in 98. The Rock versus Undertaker in Survivor Series 98. The Rock versus Mankind. This was like when Vince kind of did the screw job on Mankind. Mankind didn't tap out, but Vince said he did. X-Pac versus The Rock, bonus match here. I believe you play as X-Pac. I'm not too sure. I don't remember this one 100%. Then we move on to Mankind storyline. I love the way the graphic is. Beautiful graphic. Mankind versus The Rock, Rock Bottom. Mankind versus Kane. The coolest thing here is when Mankind wins the title versus The Rock. I don't remember what day this might have been. It might have been here, actually. January 4th of 99. So this happened a couple days ago. Now from when I uploaded this video, but years back, he wins the title. Of course, you have tons of great matches that they had with one another. Halftime Heat, legendary match during the Super Bowl, I believe. Amazing storyline. And then we move on to the WrestleMania 15 storyline, which was just a thing of beauty. Tons of great matches that led up to this, obviously. Tons of great matches that led up to this. And then we go to WrestleMania. Shane McMahon versus X-Pac. Steve Austin versus The Rock. So very cool. And then there's a bonus match, and this is what has set the tone for what is to be the Attitude Era. They believe it's Bret Hart versus Undertaker, and this is when HBK is a special guest referee, and he hits Undertaker across the face with a chair, and leads to Bret Hart winning. And this is kind of what leads to all the events that happened after, from McMahon versus Austin to the Montreal Screwjob. So tons of great things to see from this game. I love the way the menu is. And you have the off-script one, which I haven't finished. You play as Vader versus Kane over the Edge. Godfather and Mark Henry versus the War Warriors. Edge versus Vader. The Rock and Steve Austin versus Triple H and Undertaker. I believe this was the debut episode of SmackDown. You have the Acolytes versus Kane and X-Pac. Haven't done these. These are easy. This is a hard one here. Jericho versus Road Dogg. Because it wants you to do something like perform a power bomb as a finisher and send Road Dogg to the normal table. The normal table, like, it's not the announcer table. It's a literal table. Every time I do it, the table just doesn't break. You have the Edge and Christian. Acolytes versus Edge and Christian. I think this is when they win the titles, I believe. Lita versus Stephanie McMahon. Eddie Guerrero versus Steve Austin. They tried Eddie because you play as Steve Austin and beat him in like 2 minutes. Trish Stratus versus Lita. So this is a Raw of 2001. I don't even think they used the exact stage, I believe. I was a little saddened about that. But tons of good features. I'm gonna look at, just give you a main look at the roster so you guys can see it. But this is not gonna be like one of those breakdown videos. We could do one of those depending on how this goes. Show you all different match types or whatever. The Attitude Era roster here. I'm missing a couple of superstars, but a stacked roster nonetheless. Loving the overalls, all relatively high because that's how good they were. Look at Eddie at 92. That's how good they were at this time. Everybody was just elite at the time. Everybody was at the top of their game. Let's see if we can see an arena here. Just want to look at the arenas real quick. Maybe we can get a look at the different arenas. They don't have pictures of it, unfortunately. We have Raw is War. Raw is War 98, Raw is War 97. I believe that's SmackDown that I'm missing. See, they don't have, I don't know how they don't have Raw 2001 and they had the Trish Stratus match on there. Bad Blood 97, Survivor Series, Over the Edge, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and WrestleMania here. So tons of cool stuff, tons of cool venues, super exciting. Halftime Heat, you have the empty arena, you have Heat, Sunday Night Heat. So I love the way they did it. Super fan of this super enjoyable game. WWE 13. That's literally the name, WWE 13. So hope you all enjoyed this, and we'll, have a little outro for you guys shortly. Cue the static, please. Well, if you've made it this far, I would like to say thank you for staying tuned for this great video that we put together for you all. But nonetheless, that is the game overall. I'm probably going to give it an 8 out of 10 as well compared to the original ratings from Metacritic and IGN, of course. Because, I just wish it had the WCW aspect of the Monday Night War perspective. It didn't. So, it misses a lot of the juice of the Monday Night Wars. The Attitude Era, why it was so good. It was because of its competition. Nonetheless, hope you all enjoyed this video. So much more to come. Classic games on the way. Classic game galore as of late, and tons of great things to come in the channel. Please subscribe, hit that comment, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, hit the notifications, and more exciting things on the way. Hope you all enjoyed. Once again, remember to brush your teeth, wash your hands, and clean your ass. JC from Fittest Gamers. Remember that God is real, God is alive and roaring like a lion. Miracles do happen. I am living proof of those. Remember Hulk Hogan's mantra of say your prayers and eat your vitamins, brother, and John Cena's mantra of never give up. So much to come. So much to come. Any request, please comment it below, and we'll do our best to present that to you all. All right, so have a great night. Peace.